And the reason why there's a big difference between these two things is that I think that this is much more of a 50-50 issue where a lot of people are pro ICE and a lot of people are anti ICE. But with George Floyd, I think that most people were pro BLM. Like, just overwhelmingly, I think there were not a lot of counter protests against BLM. And I think that BLM wasn't really there to stop anything. It was mainly just like a protest movement, right? And so I think this is a very, very big difference. People like Don Lemon are retarded. The process expedite, not a court. Yeah, definitely. And no, I don't think so. I think that it's undeniable that ICE has received a lot more support than the police did during BLM. I think it's undeniable that that's the case.
Well, someone in class is saying when the crowds are at that level and there's kind of violence, there doesn't really seem to be a rhyme or reason aside from these social media stunts and trying to prove points, police being told to stand down, this, that. Over the years, it's gotten so insane and so sad, especially when you look at the innocent lives being taken day after day at the hands of violent, abusive, drug addicted, insane people that get protected by those psycho activists that depend on these crowds of bullshit. Yeah, they profit from it and it distracts, and then they can play with it like support the police, defund the police, get ICE, Nazis, racists, freedom of speech. Right, so when the crowds get to that level, someone's saying that riot squads need to be called in, right? Right, for police protection, we protect our police too. You can't just send police into these crowds. Yeah, someone's being assaulted and there's crowds of people. That's pretty much gang violence right there. And you see that, right? People getting pulled off the street, getting beat up by different gangs or whatever drug, religious vendettas they have going on. Right, so as a citizen, when you know that's a place of violence, obviously, they were there to question or go after this guy that's been on social media burning the Quran or threatening to. Right, Tommy Robinson stuff going on, different riots, connected places in UK, the Pink Ladies, these activist groups. Are they standing up for children's rights, women's rights, veterans, elderly, recovering drug addicts, beaten women? Come on, you guys. Starving children? It's so ridiculous. How many Americans don't have clean water and housing? Who cares? Just the ones that deserve it. Well, they shouldn't have been born into poverty in cartel families. It's their own fault. You know, they're given proper opportunities. Haven't you seen the public school systems? Look at all the skills and training and opportunities they're given. What a bunch of bullshit, huh? You know, a lot of the rich people that would never want to put their kids in public school or Western medicine go around. And sometimes they find a public school that's not known for violence. They're like rain men looking for Qantas. Qantas never crashed. Okay, no school shootings. How's the police? Yeah. Okay, you know what? We'll send them to this public school. Right, their grades are going to be so great going up against those retards, huh? Drug addict families. Came from rural areas. They were never taught nothing. Our kids that went to all these special skilled training, education, and weren't exposed to the poverty stricken environments those kids were exposed to. Yeah, their scores are going to be great against them. That's an old one. That was back in the 90s. They were doing that quite a bit. They thought it was funny. They'd go around scouting areas looking for diamonds in the roughs and retards. I know. Another reason we were put on the programs when we were 18, back in the year 2000. Yeah, so anyways, I really hope the proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine help our children who are in the hands of sick, murderous, punk-ass pedophiles and their sick fucking hag mother. Abusive people. Two of the most abusive people I've ever met. Both mentally and physically. They need help, and it horrifies me knowing they have custody of my children. What about the little boy they beat up in the tub? What about the private investigator and the doctors and other professionals and citizens trying to tell people? Back in 2006, 7, 8, 9, 10? And where are those dumb hags and pieces of shit that were getting people to fear? The Nazis and ICE. What do they think ICE is? These activists? Yeah, they're people and activists that were pissed off from back in the 90s and early 2000s of people that they thought should have been put in jail, get put on programs, all the recovering addicts, the people that made the right choices to take a better path, go on the programs. Yeah, I know. Sometimes you're also on the state, right? One of those losers mooching off the state. Yeah, throw you in that bucket. Well, it's a better life, than depending on people on the street, right? And they all depend on each other. They say, fuck the systems, fuck the government, fuck the police. Yeah, and they traffic in their own drugs, buy them off the street, befriend people that can get things prescribed that they can't. It's an old skit, my friends. Yeah, you see it coming a mile away when you're aware of it. And when the people around you are not aware of it and they're playing into the hands of these sick fucking marketers and slugs and pieces of shit punks. Yeah, I mean, it's really sad. And a lot of them are the ones that were throwing out the hate towards anything to do with ICE, the vaccines. It's really sick and disgusting. And a lot of those people, for them to stay silent all these years and then try to come out, I had no idea. And then try to educate people about the dangers of the vaccines and profit from that. These people are fucking sick. You need help. Wow. So anyways, if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, any suggestions as to how we can help our young, poor children that have been fucked and tortured and still in the custody of their abusers, that's where it's at for us. To us, that's an emergency. That's imminent. That somebody needs to fucking do something right now. I know, and that people who are aware think we should take the law into our own hands. They get upset with us that we don't. Yeah, you're not supposed to let people get away with fucking little kids. It's a rule of the road, Yeah, and if we don't take care of business, and a lot of times that pisses them off and we become targets. Right, because when they continue to get away with it and they're strong-arming people with child abuse, child and animal pornography with Russian, Chinese, and Middle Eastern channels, well, now we're targets of these radical groups and people that get targeted because of those things. When you have NATO sending in military ops to go help the children that are being abused here, they just make it look like it's over there. We've already proven this, and we've turned people around on blind fucking missions. You can't deny it. Anyways, much love, health, and peace to you all. Again, if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, we're right here. We're really looking for suggestions as to how we can help those children. Much love, all. Peace, love, and happiness.